Question 1 says convert 36 over 48 to a percentage. So always make your life simple, simplify first. The highest common factor of 36 and 48 is 12. So I'm going to divide both of them by 12 and I get 3 over 4. You may know that 3 over 4 as a percentage is 75%, but if you don't, make the denominator into 100, do it to the bottom, do it to the top. So the answer is 75%. Make sure you pause the video if you need to make any notes. As always, guys, it's not about this question, it's about the strategy for any question that is like this one. So when you're ready, move on to the next question. Question 2 says simplify fully, and then it gives you an algebraic fraction. So we're going to simplify the numbers first, the 28 and the 49. The highest common factor of 28 and 49 is 7. 28 divided by 7 is 4. And 49 divided by 7 is 7. I'm then going to write out the fractions so they're easier to simplify. And now I'm going to cross off the things they both have. So they've both got 3 y's, and they've both got 2 x's. Which leaves 4 on the numerator, and 7, and I've got these 2 x's, so x squared, and I've got this 1y, so 7x squared y. Again, make sure you've paused to write down any purple pen notes that you need to, and then move on to the next question. Question 3, expand and simplify. 5 times x is 5x, 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. Now there's no number in front of the second bracket, but I want you to imagine there's a negative 1 there. And then we do negative 1 times 3x, which is negative 3x, and negative 1 times negative 2, which is positive 2. Now for the simplifying part, you can see I've got the x's, 5x minus 3x is 2x, and negative 10 plus 2 is negative 8. So the answer is 2x minus 8. Question 4 says, share £140 in the ratio 4 to 2 to 1. Ratio questions, box method with a total. So I write my box method, I write the total number of parts, and 4 plus 2 plus 1 is 7. And then I write the 140, because that is the actual total, underneath the 7. The connection is times 20, and then 4 times 20 is £80, 2 times 20 is £40, and 1 times 20 is £20. And together, 80 plus 40 plus 20 adds up to 140, so I know that that is correct. B says express 18 as a product of its prime factors. So I need to be doing a factor tree. I'm going to do 3 and 6. You might have chosen 2 and 9. Circle the prime factors as you go. And there you can see we've got all the prime factors. But we have to write it as a product of its prime factors. This word product means times. So we do 2 times 3 times 3, or 2 times 3 squared. Either's correct, but this version is a bit better. So make sure you've paused the video and written any notes that you need to. And then when you're ready, move on to question 5. Question 5 says calculate 17 times 1.3, multiplying decimals, gelosia. Both numbers have 2 digits, so it doesn't really matter which one you put at the top and which one you put at the side. But make sure you've got 2 columns and 2 rows, and make sure your diagonals go corner to corner. I'm going to do the decimal point first, so that I don't forget about it. And you can see the decimal points go there. And then fill in the remaining spaces. And then add up the diagonals. So the answer is 22.1. Question 6 says work out negative 2 plus 5. which means we're starting at -2, we're going up by 5, we end up at +3. And question 6b says we're starting at -1y, when we're adding a negative we're going down, so -1 down by 10 ends up at -11. Obviously it's -11y. If you need to rewind that to listen to the explanation again, then please do. Otherwise, make sure you've written your notes and then move on to the next question. Question 7a says round 924 to 2 significant figures. So the first significant figure is here, the second one is the 2, which means 4 is the decider. It's a weak decider because 4 is less than 5, which means the 2 stays the same and the 9 stays the same. But remember, we have to include zeros up to the decimal point because we don't want to change the value of the number too much. We just want to make it a bit easier to deal with. But 920 is the answer. B says find the highest common factor of 10 and 18. If you can't spot it straight away, you can list out all the factors of both numbers. And you can see there that the highest common factor is 2. Question 8. Work out, leaving your answers in their simplest forms, 3 2/3 minus 7 over 10. So first of all, I'm going to convert the first fraction to an improper fraction. 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 2, which is 11. The denominator stays the same. So now, adding and subtracting fractions, find the LCM. So what's the LCM of 3 and 10? That's 30. What are times 3 by to make 30? Times it by 10. Do it to the bottom, do it to the top. And what are 10 times 10 by to make 30? Times it by 3. Do it to the bottom, do it to the top. So now I have to do 110 take away 21, which is 89. So that is in its simplest form already, but if I wanted to write it as a mixed number, it would be 2 and 29 over 30. So make sure you've marked that. Pause the video if you need more time to do that. Press play when you're ready for part B. So part B is a dividing fractions question. Dividing fractions times by the reciprocal. Some of you like to call that keep, flip, change, or keep, change, flip, or whatever it is. I don't know. I just say times by the reciprocal. So at this point, we've got multiplying fractions, top, top, bottom, bottom, but always make your life simple. Simplify first. And I can't do vertical simplifying with these two or with these two. But what I can do is cross simplifying. Highest common factor of 15 and 9 is 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Highest common factor of 16 and 20 is 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 16 divided by 4 is 4. Now I'm going to do top, top, bottom, bottom. And if I wanted to write that as a mixed number, it would be 2, because 12 goes into 25 twice, with a remainder of 1. So 2 and 1/12. Again, pause the video if you need to make some notes. Press play when you're ready to keep watching. Question 9. A. Without a calculator, find 17% of 35. So 17% is a bit of an awkward percentage, so I'm going to use this formula instead of finding 10% and then 1% and then 1% and blah, blah, blah. The original is 350. If I'm finding 17% as a decimal, that is 0.17. I've got to divide by 100. So the multiplier is 0.17. If I do my Gelosia nicely, I don't make any mistakes, I get 59.5. So the answer is 59.5. Part B says without a calculator, increase 400 by 25%. 25% is one of those percentages which is actually quite easy to find. if I know that 100% is 400, 25% is just divided by 4, because 25 goes into 100 4 times. So 25% is just 100. If I'm increasing 400 by 25%, it means I'm doing 400 plus the 25%, which is here, so plus the 100, and overall, that's going to give me 500. If instead you did the original times multiplier equals final, what you would have done was 400 times 1.25, because the multiplier from increasing 25% is 1.25, and that would have also given you 500. So pause the video, make any notes that you need to, and then press play when you're ready to hear the next question. Question 10. Work out the area of the following shapes, all lengths in centimeters. So here we have a parallelogram. Area of parallelogram, base times perpendicular height. But there's 3 values here, so one of them is going to be a red herring. In fact, it is the 12. I don't want that 12 because it is not the base and it's not the perpendicular height. So 4 times 9, which is 36 centimeters squared. 10b, this is a triangle. Area of a triangle, base times perpendicular height divided by 2. Again though, there's a red herring. I'm going to call the base 10. So therefore the perpendicular height is going to be 7 because it's at right angles to the 10. And then I divide by 2. The red herring is the 8. Don't need it. So this is therefore 70 over 2, which is 35 centimeters squared. Pause the video, make any notes that you need to, and press play when you're ready for number 11. Number 11 says solve this equation. And you can see we've got x on both sides, but before we get rid of the smallest x, we have to eliminate the brackets. So I'm going to expand, making sure I multiply everything inside the bracket by what's on the outside. Now I have x on both sides, get rid of the smallest x. So I'm going to get rid of the 3x, as it's smaller than 4x. And then all I have to do is get rid of the minus 8 by adding 8 to both sides. It gives me x equal to 44. If you want to check that, you can substitute it back into here, and both sides should equal each other. Final question from today. Find the perimeter of the following shape, lengths are in centimeters. Perimeter is the distance around a 2D shape. So we're doing 12.4 plus 3 plus 12.4 plus 3. Because we know they're the same length and that those two are the same length. And the 3 goes in the units column, and I can put a 0.0 there. 4 plus 4 plus 0 plus 0 is 8. The decimal point never moves, stays aligned. Then 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2 is 10, with a remainder of 1. And then 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. So the answer is 30.8 centimeters. Again, make any notes that you need to, guys, and then when you're done, take a photo and send to your teacher.